IJDS, there is no explicit, and this is a very unique characteristic of IJDS, there's no explicit decision provided by the reviewers and AEs. So the onus is on you as an SC to make a decision. I'm sure they're providing all the review, their comments and their perspectives, but they don't provide an actual decision that they have, and it's entirely on you to make the final decision and put that in perspective. So how do you typically plan to make that decision, and how different that think it will be for the authors and review teams based on this new process of review process?
I think it's working out very well. And I think that's the case for a few reasons. The first, I think, is that, I mean, like every other journal, there's the SE, the AE, the reviewers. I mean, that same sequence exists. However, I think IJDS has done a great job to provide clear guidelines for both the reviewers and the AE. So every time the reviewers are sent a paper, there are very specific questions and guidelines for reviewing the paper. And similarly, when these reviews reach the AE also has a clear set of questions and a requirement to kind of synthesize all of these reviews into a set of into a very well-articulated guidance for the authors to make a revision. You know, if it's a recommendation for revision, and even if it's rejection, clear guidance as to what may be missing, what are the pros, what are the gaps in the work. And so I think these questions provide an ability to be very consistent and fair in how the reviews are done, and what guidance the authors will get back. So to make that final recommendation and allow the SE to make that recommendation, I think adds another level of consistency, because the SE sees, I, for example, given my focus in healthcare, IT, and analytics, see papers across a spectrum of IT and in healthcare. But the reviewers and the AE are specialized, they have special knowledge of those fields, and so they provide the recommendations. And those recommendations across these areas allow the AE to be really consistent in making a decision at the end of the day across a variety of problems, a variety of approaches, variety of insights and types of data. So I think that consistency is good for the journal.
That's great. Yeah, I think that gives us like it seems like a very well-regulated review process, which is essentially what authors are also looking for, either in the review process, how to build a paper, or even if they get a rejection, they will want to know what to learn from that, so that they can update the paper and maybe send it somewhere else if they want to. But the feedback is definitely useful. So either for the papers that go through the process or the papers that get out, either way, it's useful for authors to send and get that feedback. So it's wonderful to see that process happening.